Hi everybody, Dr. Ben Schmore, the LA chiropractor right here in Century City. We're here with one of our new patients today. It's going to be her first visit. We've already done the preliminary x-rays with consultation and everything, but we're going to go what a first visit looks like in our office. Now she's suffering primarily with what's the areas that have been bothering you the most?
My upper and lower back. I seem to have a lot of stiffness and pain.
Okay, now what do you do pretty much most of the day?
As far as work, I'm in a desk.
Yeah.
Up and down as well.
Down.
Yeah.
And so I seen you carrying some files within the building. She is in our building here, right next door, so it made it easy. So carrying files up and down throughout the desk. So when do you usually feel this kind of discomfort, and what is it getting in the way of?
I typically feel it later in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
What does it get in the way of? I don't know.
You push through everything.
Yeah,
I know
I
you
do.
High pain tolerance.
Right.
You work out a lot. You train a lot.
Right.
So,
True enough.
So, and one of the things I found out with people who work out a lot and are into physical activity, they seem to override their body's pain mechanism.
True.
Right. It's like, oh, I'm not listening to you. I need you to stop. I need you to stop. Nope. Not stopping, right?
Yes.
So listen, there's a reason why we have these mechanisms in our body. Okay, our body's trying to tell us that, hey, let's just stop that so we don't injure ourselves. A lot of people, when they come in here, they tell me I have a high pain threshold. That already kind of throws a big wrench in it. That means, hey, what it basically says, I don't like to listen to my body.
I listen to my body.
So what we're going to do today, we've already done the exam, but I'm going to walk you through what happens here. Again, if you want to see the preliminary stuff, which is the wobble chair and the cervical dip traction, you can go ahead and click on here and then click on there, and then you'll see those videos of what we do prior to coming into the adjusting room. Now I'm going to slow this down. The visit does not take this long, but I want to be very detailed. So we're going to just do a couple more athletic tests today. So if you can kind of just follow me, put your hands right where you are, and I want you to rotate all the way as far. This is a good thing that I want to see, is I want to be able to, when I'm looking, that's it, perfect. When I'm looking and patient rotates, I want to be able to see that other shoulder from that side. So if you can rotate to that side, perfect, I can see. So her range of motion side to side is well, but there are areas that are locked up in flexion and extension, and that's what we want to take care of. So the other one is just hands to the side. If I can have you bending all the way to the left, okay, all the way to the right for me, and perfect. Shoulder level, we have a shoulder that is low on this side, high on this side. That usually comes from years of carrying bags, purses, backpacks. Even if your kids are in school, you'll see them kind of do this thing. It's going to really mess up what happens. Puts a lot of stress up into the upper thoracic area. So our focus is going to be mid-thoracic. Again, she's got great posture. One of the reasons she's got great posture for somebody who spends so much time behind the computer is because she's physically active. She trains well. I know her because I've met her several times being in the building, so I know what she's up to. She's very, very strong. You see those guns? Bam! So what we're going to do is, I can start with face down right onto our table here. I'm just going to go ahead and tilt our little camera. Awesome. Okay. So again, you guys always know I start with an orthopedic exam, a neurological exam. I'm looking for the subluxation. Subluxation is where areas of the spine are putting pressure on the nerve. The spine is not moving properly, it's locked up, and it's compressing areas of the spinal column and putting stress onto the nerves. And it's really decreasing not only functional movement, but nerve flow. And that's really important because later on, wherever these nerves go, the person is going to have a problem. So we want optimal function. We want motion within all of these joints in a XYZ axis. and we want them to be healthy. We want posture to be proper. It's really, really important if you want to have longevity and health in your life. So this is one of my 5 pillars to health. You can check out the other pillars, the other 4 pillars on additional videos. We're gonna do our original check where you can see this one is almost a 1/2 inch off, and it's also a 1/2 inch short. So it's a 1/2 inch short when it is in neutral, and then when it's in flexion, it's a 1/2 inch long. So there is a lot of rotation and hip issues right into this area. So I asked my patients, oh, by the way, there's this hand rest right here. Can you let me know if there's any tenderness in 1, 2, 3, 4.
I would say 4 a little bit.
4. Okay. So it's usually on these 2 sides. Okay. And we know that the sacrum and the pelvis is rotated. See, people standing like this a lot. They'll pick a hip, and over time this accumulates. So I always start out with the blocks, really important. Lift up this side for me. I'm just going to lay this block under it. Go ahead, you can bring that down. Lay it this side there. Okay, so with those blocks, do you feel like a little relief in the low back? By any
Yes.
chance? Okay, the tension of the low back comes out immediately. Now I wouldn't do this at home, but just because she said that. We are doing it based on the exam that we did, so we know exactly where to go. And then when we come back, that we can see that those heels are now in alignment. They're touching evenly. So if we hadn't fixed this, later on we're going to experience knee pain, okay, because we're putting more stress on one side or the other. We're going to have ankle issues that will be affected, and over a while it'll even hit the mid-back, and that's why she's having mid-back. As strong as she is and as great as she's doing, she has been strengthening this hip that's been out of alignment. Now if she takes a month off or a few months off, she stops working out, I can guarantee the pain is going to come back intensely. Okay, so what's been saving her from having a lot more issues is that she's very strong right now and is keeping everything together. Okay. So one of the things we're going to do, we're going to break down a lot of the issues that she's having with the tension. There's scar tissues. She's had some falls in the past, some motor vehicle accidents. So what we're going to do is going to break down. It's going to be a little bit loud, all right? So just bear with me. But help breaking down those joints. Feel how deep that goes. So this is helping break down a lot of the adhesions, some of the scar tissue that keeps building on top of each other. So again, this is one of the tools that we use. It's ultrasonic. It's like the sonic toothbrush for the tissues. It breaks down adhesions. It creates mobility in the joints. So when I create the adjustment, I have more out of my adjustment than just a few vertebrae moving back to their alignment. So everything that we do, we're focusing on the subluxation in the spine. If you want to know more about subluxation, you can go ahead and tap this video right over here. It's going to explain more about the subluxation complex, the vertebral subluxation process, and what that does is locks up the joints from sitting for hours on end. All right, so our adjustment here is easy. I usually don't have to do the side posture. And in a scenario like this, the table's going to pop up. What this does, it allows these areas to hold the pelvis in place while I adjust the sacrum into its proper joint. And I usually do that 2 to 3 times. How's that pressure feel? Do you feel anything at all?
Mm-hmm.
No. So there's no audibles for patients who don't want to hear the noise. It's very easy on the patient, very easy on the doctor. And we're going to see the post results. One more. And I'm hitting very specific areas of her sacrum, making sure everything's in place. So we're going to check that again. I could feel the tension right in there. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Blow out. Okay, so we're going to do a post check to make sure that the adjustment worked, and we can see that the heels are lining up even. I look to make sure that those two are lined up. We started about here, and now we see a great lineup. So everything, there's still some cervical stuff that's going on. I'm going to adjust her a little bit later after that, but the low back is complete. Can I have you sit on that for me? And let's go through that little motion test again so you can do your left and your right, and then tell me how that feels. Okay? So
Left and right like this?
Yep. Wow, we can definitely see as flexible as she is, she has more range of motion.
Yeah.
Less tension in the muscles. Right?
Definitely.
So when she goes to work out tonight, have less possibility of injuring herself because her spine is even moving better than it was before. The hours of being behind the computer are not going to be as stressful on her back. Now we are on a corrective plan, so we have an end in mind. We know what goals she has, and so we're going to be working with her over the next several months to make sure she is at her optimal.
Perfect.
All right. So you see how I said they always stand at that posture, right? Right? Didn't I just show you that?
True.
Well, thank you very much
Thank you.
for letting us do this. We'll follow up with you in just a couple of months. If you have any questions, you need to know more about us, go ahead and subscribe and comment if you want to know more. If there's something you want to see about how things get done in my office, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.